All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Classical Cinema Chat. I'm your host Ben, and I'm joined
Absolutely smashing them.
and I'm joined by
John. Oh, I'm extra fancy this week. We're talking about a real classical piece of cinema today,
we're
aren't we, Ben?
we're talking about only the greatest, Hoodwinked.
Perfect.
This
Perfect
movie. What are your
fuck Taxi Driver. This is the real masterpiece.
yeah? What better way to follow up Taxi Driver than to go with Hoodwinked?
Yeah.
So, what are your overall thoughts on Hoodwinked?
Well, first, I like when did you first watch it? I feel like. Because, I feel like with kids' movies, we gotta go, just kids' movies especially, we gotta go with, the when did you watch it? Like, how old were you when you watched it? How much did you watch it?
I watched it way back.
Mm.
Probably when I don't even know what year this came out, probably like 2006, 7.
Something like that.
But yeah, I watched it I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it.
I don't think I saw it in theaters either.
I saw it after.
Remember, advertisements.
Yeah, I definitely watched it on like Cartoon Network or something. And I remember just being like, what is this? I was so enticed by it. And then there was like a good decade that passed. And I never watched it. And then I rewatched it. I'm like,
I spent that decade just watching it. This was like a childhood favorite. I love this movie. I'm blowing my load right now. I love this movie.
I really enjoy it. Once I like started watching it again, I'm like, this is amazing. Like this is hilarious.
It's funny.
It is, and it's so different than usual animated movies. There's really nothing else like it.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the usual suspects.
It's like a murder mystery,
It is It's so funny. It's so funny. So
this is gonna be a weird episode. I don't really have a lot to talk about. It's just.
Oh, we'll figure it out. There's plenty of talk about in, of course, the cinematic masterpiece known as Hoodwinked.
But we'll figure it out.
So, I think all the performances are actually pretty good.
Yeah, they're all pretty funny.
Like
and,
even
and
Exhibit.
Dick as we'll
Yeah.
go through the plot. We'll get there, but
Yeah, don't worry. We'll definitely get to Fear the Ear, baby. So, and then so
but yeah, he's good. He's good. Patrick Warburton's good.
Even Exhibit. If no one will probably even know who Exhibit is, but as the chief. No, he's not the chief, is he?
No, he's historic.
No. That's Anthony Anderson.
That's what I said.
Oh, I'm talking about Exhibit.
Yeah, I know, dude. I know you love talking about Exhibit.
Yeah, Pimp My Ride. Yeah, but dude, Triple G, Granny. Yo, Granny.
We'll get there.
Dude, it's an experience. So let's start it off. What's your favorite storyline? Because the movie's split up into, I believe, 4 different storylines.
Yeah, there's. Well, let's go over the plot.
Yeah, so pretty much,
general plot.
The Goody Bandit is stealing goods from the forest and stealing the recipes. It's
basic. Going out of business. This whole forest is thrust into an economic depression, the likes of which we've never seen before.
It's basically big business taking over. And they're trying to figure out who the Goody Bandit is, and it's like a series of interconnected tales with the woodsman, played by Jim Belushi, the god Jim Belushi.
From Thief. And
Jingle All the Way, from Red Heat. And then Anne Hathaway plays Red Riding Hood. Patrick Warburton, plays the wolf.
Dude, you're forgetting he played Kronk.
Oh, yeah, of course he played Kronk. Oh, yeah. Now it's all coming together. And then he played, I meant Glenn Close as Triple G, as the grandmother. And then, I don't even know who plays Nikki Flippers, but, Nikki Flippers.
I'll look it up.
All right, but yeah, so pretty much it starts off with Red Riding Hood's story, Anne Hathaway's. And we're definitely going to get...
David Ogden Stiers.
Right, and I think he passed away.
Yeah.
But we're going to get into some spoilers here, but if that beginning part
I
interested
mean, you
you,
really don't want this movie spoiled.
no, I'm telling you, watch this film. It is hilarious. Like, it's comedy is top tier. But yeah, we start off with Anne Hathaway and the Red Riding Hood character, and this is like the kind of like you know what you're getting yourself into when this story starts, because it is just it is weird, but
Yeah, this movie's weird.
I love it because
Can we just talk about the animation for a second? It's terrible.
it doesn't look
It's really-
bad
it-
as the movie
It's not the worst, but it's pretty bad.
as it goes on. It gets
I've
bad.
seen it so many times that I'm just used to it, and even I was like, ew.
No, like as it goes on, it's like I feel like the budget was like pretty much empty near the end of the movie because it gets like PS1 level bad. Yeah. But it's still entertaining as fuck. And but yeah, the Red Riding Hood story. There's just so many fucking amazing moments.
Red!
Hey, Red, with Boingo. Andy Dick playing Boingo, the bunny, and then
His best performance, maybe?
I mean it's definitely no one else no one else knows him for anything else. But then
That's true. What has he done? What is he famous for other than just being a weirdo?
being a comedian. I mean he was on news radio.
Yeah.
But besides that, yeah. So
I'm just famous for being a real creepy gay guy, I guess.
yeah, there you go. So and then they all interconnect like we were talking about.
Yeah, it's like Pulp Fiction.
It's animated Pulp Fiction. There you go. That quote needs to be on the DVD cover.
You want to know what you call a quarter pounder goodie with cheese?
A quarter. What?
I'm sorry.
A muffin with cheese, dude.
Something like that.
Yeah. No, we need to make that happen. But that needs to be on the DVD cover. Pulp Fiction, but animated. Classical Cinema Chat. So,
Yes.
and then I don't really want to go into too much detail about the Red story, but it involves a singing
What do you think
goat.
is the worst storyline?
I think it's probably the wolf one because it's
No,
kind.
what are you talking about? That one's the best.
I think it's the most boring.
Oh, that's the funniest one, though.
And I think Granny's is because of all
I mean,
the
that one is pretty fun.
cliches, like the action cliches. But so then the wolf one,
Where,
the
you find out that he's a private investigator.
yeah, he's Fletch
investigating
basically.
Red.
He's the Chevy Chase movie Fletch,
Yeah.
and he's sneaking around, and
He's got a little sidekick.
yeah, Twitchy. I'm a Twitchy copy.
Yeah, a little hyperactive squirrel. A year, like the same year as Over the Hedge too. That was pretty fun.
Yes, that's right. So that was like comedy back then, just overhyped, like hyper.
You'll get those
animals.
movies where it's just like they came out at the same year, but they're strangely similar.
Right.
Like the biggest one is probably like A Bug's Life and Ants, but that was like they were like actively competing with each other.
Which
on that
that's
one.
interesting to know, but
Yeah, I know. I never shut the fuck up about ants.
I know you love ants, ants, but
Dude, Woody Allen is an ant. What isn't great about that?
that's true. But so then after the wolf storyline, they think that he was trying to like basically kill Red and take
Yeah. So the movie opens up with like him attacking Red. Granny's all tied up, and then the woodsman bursts through the window of the house, acting like a maniac.
and as you plays out, you learn more and more about why each thing was happening. And the
Yeah, you
funniest
learn that
part,
Red was trying to get to Granny to save the recipes. That the wolf wasn't attacking her. He was just an investigative journalist.
and he was disguised as Granny.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about how big I've gotten?
What big steel books you have?
What big lore collection you have?
So are we just gonna sit around here talking about how bad my podcast is getting?
Yeah. So then, I mean, the standout of this movie, I think we quote this part more than any other part. Schnitzel, an amazing
Yes.
treat.
Yes, Jim Belushi as the woodsman. He drives around a schnitzel truck.
He is so fucking funny in
Is
this
he the
movie.
funniest character in the movie?
I think so, because he's just
Keep
so
my faith.
stupid. and he's just like,
He wants to be an actor.
and he has
He's
no
auditioning
idea
for
what the
fucking
hell's
Korean
going
Big.
on, and he's just
Huh?
like, he has no idea what's going on half the time. He's
Yeah,
like,
he's just
huh?
out of it.
He's like, huh? What are you talking about? And then
Yeah, the joke is that he's German. I mean, let's face
yeah,
it.
the joke is that he's a dumb German. So then
That's proud.
the best part, he's like, I got the callback, and the director, he's like,
I'd always dreamed about callbacks, but I had never gotten one.
and then the director is like, you need to get angry, you need to go find yourself. So he's like, I'm gonna go.
You need to find that inner woodsman in you.
So he goes and chops down trees.
Yeah, he pulls the Daniel Day-Lewis. He gets really in method with it.
Yeah, he becomes a method actor. He becomes Jared Leto, and then tries to chop down this giant tree, and it just starts. It almost kills him,
It almost fucking crushes him to death.
and then he has to.
But it throws him through the window.
And that's how he ends up at the fucking house. And then this is probably the most absurd part in this whole fucking movie, the granny storyline. Okay.
I noticed you had 3 G's tattooed on the back of your neck.
Yeah.
It's appropriate because you have 3 strikes against you.
It is.
Just go into it.
So the grandmother, played by Glenn Close, she likes to live life to the extreme. She in this movie she snowboards, she zip lines, she parachutes, and she fights.
Typical boomer, siphoning off the resources of the youth so they can die comfortably.
And she fights generic.
I had to take a reverse mortgage out on the cottage so I could go around the country doing whatever.
Red, I just got my AARP invitation. I gotta go kick some ass. So one of the funniest parts that I forgot even happened, but until I recently rewatched it, the reverse interrogation scene where she's hanging off of the mountain, and then she's asking the henchman, the Arnold Schwarzenegger henchman, and he's like, "We were hired by the Goody Bandit."
Who those characters are?
The what?
We gotta get into who those characters are. The European ski team.
The European ski team. Yeah, it's like.
They don't have names, I don't think.
No, you remember at the very end, Boingo says them. It's
Keith.
yeah, we know Keith. Watch out for Keith. Yeah, and then there is a hilarious scene where an avalanche happens.
Yeah, she put some fucking C4 on the mountain.
Yeah, Granny Triple G puts C4 on the mountain. It blows up, and she's flying. And Red in her. And since Red, in her story, she was riding a minecart with this goat who can sing. Oh, we'll get into that a little bit later. But this.
Oh, he'll get to it.
So she starts because she was on the because she was on the minecart, which was on the mountain that they were skiing, and so when Granny blew it up, the minecart trail blew up. So then Red starts flying through the sky, and then Granny is parachuting, and the clouds cover up the parachute, and Granny is above Red while she's flying, and then she turns down to Red and goes, "Use the hood, Red. Use the hood."
Yeah, like a ghost, I guess.
Well, like in Star Wars.
Yeah.
It is. I could not stop laughing. I'm like, what am I watching? But yeah, the goat, okay, the thing that I was bringing up earlier, probably the best part of the movie, probably the funniest part.
Yeah, it's a goat who says that he was cursed by a witch, so I can't stop singing.
And he just goes, did I got horns that hold my other horns.
Yeah, he's got horns for everything.
It will get stuck in your head. Like, watch the fucking movie. I'm telling you. It's so catchy. I love it.
You're just I can't get it out. I can't get it out.
It's, and then.
Forced me over me. My kids don't talk to me.
My strange addiction, the goat from Hoodwinked. But yeah, no,
that wouldn't be a strange addiction.
No, that's true. It's a very, very normal thing to be addicted to. So then what else? and then that's kind of when it starts concluding a little bit, because then Granny,
it wraps up.
because Red finds out about Granny's secret life as Triple G.
She gets all pissy about it.
And the song that plays is so funny. Red is blue. I know that doesn't make any sense, but red is blue.
Yeah.
It's like, the comedy in this movie is on point all the time. It is like the three pig cops. We don't want to arrest anybody because they're weird. Hey, Chief. Yeah. You might want
to. We got in the tank. The creepy one? Yeah, better let him
go. That's what it is. We don't arrest anyone because they're creepy. Yeah. Oh, you know the guy we just arrested? Oh, the creepy one? Yeah, you might want to let him go. Like, we're probably not doing it justice, but I'm telling you.
No, we're not. We're going through this, and I'm like, dude, it's only been like 15 minutes, and we're already at the end of the movie. But I mean,
well, that's the thing. It's a short movie.
Yeah, it's really short. It's only like 70 minutes.
Yeah, and
barely.
I just wish more movies like this got made. Like, original.
It made a shit ton. Do you know how much money it made?
It really didn't make that much. I think it was only like
No, it did. So it was made for a budget of $8 million, and it made $110 million.
I don't. Let me look that up.
That's on the. Dude, I'm reading it on the Wikipedia.
I'm on Box Office Mojo, which I think is, I would better trust that than Wikipedia. All right, so here we go. It came out in 2005.
What? Wikipedia?
Hoodwinked came out in 2005. That's interesting. So yeah, the budget was $30 million. It only made 110,000 worldwide. So really, and then they made.
The $30 million might be taking in like advertising.
Oh yeah, definitely. So it definitely looks like an $8 million animation budget. So and then they made this shitty fucking sequel. It's awful. The animation somehow got even worse.
Well, they were gonna make it so the movie. So like the first one made a shit ton of money. It got okay critical reviews. Most of the reviews were like, it's fine, but the animation's terrible. So they got the okay by the by the Weinstein Company. We forgot to mention that this was produced by it. Yeah. So the Weinsteins gave the okay to make the sequel. Almost like 10 years later, they come out with the sequel.
It was so random. It was so random, so stupid.
And it's bad. Dude, I'm a true hoodwinker, and even I'm not watching that.
It looks like Paladins, a ripoff game of Overwatch. It looks like an indie game.
The animation's a little better, kind of.
It looks cleaner, but it is not. It looks like the Cabbage Patch Dolls. It is weird.
And it's not funny. That's the biggest problem. Like, the saving grace of the first Hoodwinked is that it's funny.
Yeah, the comedy really, because otherwise it would have just been like kind of just this way too weird story. Like, it doesn't.
It wouldn't have worked, but like, it's funny. So.
Yeah, like it is a comedy. Like, before anything else, I would say it's a comedy. It's not really. It doesn't really have a good lesson, I guess. Like, not like good, like amazing animated movies. It doesn't really have like a good lesson in it. Exactly. It's just fun. It's just fun to watch. But yeah, so then let's get to the ending now. So once you learn everyone's story, figure out why they ended up at Granny's house in the first place. Once you're getting a little closer to who the goody bandit is, Nicky Flippers, the greatest detective of all time, Nicky Flippers.
Dude, better than Sherlock Holmes.
Better than Sherlock Holmes.
You can kick Sherlock Holmes'
And
ass.
Dude, plus he's got some moves.
Oh yeah.
Dude, Nicky Flippers.
That's why they call him Flippers.
That's why. Why do they call you Flippers? Down, 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 down. Yeah. So he figures out that one person has shown up in every story.
One person has been in all of the stories.
It's that dreaded Andy Dick. It was Boingo.
I'm done taking it from the man, the Muffin Man.
The Muffin Man. Yeah, it was Andy Dick as Boingo.
Muffin Man.
And an evil bunny who, you better fear the ear, baby. It is. It is. You better fear the ear, baby. But yeah, so they end up doing this.
Andy Dick I'm just imagining Andy Dick going up to some random chick in a bar and going like, and just saying that.
Yeah, that's a good. Like, Andy Dick should just go up to women in the bar, or like, since he's gay, go up to guys and be like, "You better fear." He's gay. This is like well known. But yeah,
he's the Gonzo of Hollywood. He's just a whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of disappeared, but he's funny as fuck in this movie. I love him as Boingo. It's so fun.
Yeah,
and he's like
really good.
And he's scary.
Like I said, he's so good in this movie. He made me forget that he killed one of my favorite comedians.
I know. It's pretty scary. And then he actually has like the animation on Boingo, like his face, it gets pretty fucking creepy.
Yeah.
When he turns fully evil, and he's like,
yeah. But his plan is that.
Oh my God! Yes.
He's gonna steal all the recipes, get everyone shut down, and open up a big business.
Weird.
And basically take over the whole.
He's gonna make Boingonium.
Yeah, Bengonium.
Ben. This is my plan. Sorry guys, I'm Boingo. I'm gonna make Bengonium and take over the business, take over the world, and then he's like, I'm gonna blow the competition away.
I'm gonna blow away the competition, and that's no secret. That's no joke. I'm actually going to blow them away.
And the greatest fight scene.
I'm gonna blow them red.
Jesus. So the greatest fight scene happens, probably in all of cinema. No question. Between that, this is
Better
when
than,
this is when he says, "Fear the ear." Red and Boingo fight, and he's just kicking
out of a teenage girl.
Yeah, she starts crying. It's like, dude.
What a pussy.
But then, Jesus. So anyway, you got beat up by a bunny. Fucking.
Hey, you got beat up by a fucking rabbit.
So then, the rest of the characters, they're like, "Oh, we need to go help," and one of the weirdest, like, end fight scenes. Like, this is the part of the movie that I kind of hate, where they.
Yeah, it does kind of like.
I'm telling you, the budget.
Fall apart, but it is kind of like.
The budget dropped off because they're like, "Oh, we just need a simple landscape, and we just need them all going in one direction." Like when they're on the zip line thing.
Yeah.
And they just go right into the cop car. It's like, wow, that was rushed.
He puts Rednet in a cable car and puts a bunch of dynamite in it, and he's going to blow her up.
Yeah, like, it was very rushed.
I apologize. This podcast has been kind of a disaster. We haven't really been going through the movie as much as we should have.
Listen, people need to experience Hoodwinked for themselves.
Yeah, dude, I'm not taking you by your hand and going through this movie, alright?
No, we're not giving you fucking guided notes on Hoodwinked, man. You need to go through and watch it, bro.
I'm telling you it's a good movie, Jan. Come on.
Like, listen, it speaks for itself, okay? It's Pulp Fiction, but animated. But yeah, so then, overall thoughts on the...
Don't tell me how good my goodies are. My goodies are jewels. I'm the one who buys them.
Listen, Boingo, I know how good my goodies are, okay? Listen, Red. But yeah, so...
When Red goes out to buy goodies, she buys shit.
I buy the good stuff. So,
Did you see a sign on the front of my house that said Dead Boingo Storage?
Dead Boingo Storage. Well, dude, he ends up in prison. He doesn't die. Fake hoodwinker. Dude.
Not prison. Not for a cute little bunny.
Not for a good little bunny like me. So, overall thoughts on the movie. What do you think about it?
It's perfect.
It is perfect. But
better than Citizen Kane.
It might as well be directed by Orson Welles.
Or Stanley Kubrick. Or just any good director.
Yeah, every frame is a painting in Hoodwinked.
It's like Fury Road, every frame is a canvas.
It's almost as epic as Fury Road. Yeah, I think so. It's Jesus. Yeah, this episode's awful.
Hey, you know what? We'll get a better one next week.
Oh, don't worry. Yeah, we're gonna get even better next week. But yeah, so if you were to grade Hoodwinked, what would you grade Hoodwinked?
Realistically, or like in my heart?
No, realistically, like let's do like a serious take right now.
Objectively, probably like a 7.5 or an 8.
I would probably go 7 because the ending feels way too rushed. Like, if I get that obviously budget constraints and whatever, but if it
dude,
had,
they were making this with like 2 cents in a bologna sandwich, you know?
yeah, like I think this was Weinstein's first and like only kids movie. Maybe they made others, but
it was like the only one that he commissioned himself, I think. What he would do is he would take like foreign animated movies and then redub them.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think it's funny. The story gets a little wonky, a little bit too out there.
But the jokes work so well that it doesn't really matter.
That's the thing. Like, it holds itself together. It doesn't take itself seriously at all. And
at all.
I love the story. It's pretty much like a Tarantino movie. Like, it's kind of set up like a Tarantino movie.
Yeah, it's a Tarantino movie for kids.
It is. Like, the unconventional storytelling. That's why it's like Pulp Fiction. Because it's pretty fucking wild. But yeah, no. So overall, I'd say 7. You'd go what?
7.5 or an 8.
7. Yeah. So this is definitely one.
I'd go like with an 11 out of 10.
Oh yeah. If I was just saying it, like, in my heart, I feel Hoodwinked is.
If this movie was a person, I'd ravage it.
I would propose to Hoodwinked if I could. But yeah. So it's.
I would be very lovingly.
I'm telling you guys, like, if you have not watched Hoodwinked, you need to at least once, because it is so batshit fucking crazy and it's so funny. I know we've said the word funny a lot, but that's pretty much the only way to describe this movie. Is just
there is no other way to describe it. It's just funny.
It is, and it is. That's bottom line. Yeah.
I mean, if you're watching it for the first time, be prepared to get used to that animation, because
it's a little weird looking.
It's the worst part of the movie.
Yeah, especially as it goes on, like, it somehow gets worse.
Yeah.
It looks, if you look up Times Attack, the game on computer, it looks exactly like Times Attack. Yeah, that's a throwback and a half. Times Attack. It's like a math game that we used to play in school. It looks exactly like Times Attack. It is kind of scary. But yeah, I know, right? It's fucking weird. But yeah, so that's pretty much the end of this episode. I know it's kind of a quick one, but this is a very quick movie. So, that was pretty much it. Yeah, so hopefully if you guys like this episode, if you like this horrible fucking episode, subscribe, drop a little like, you know. Next week, I'm a little scared because...
We're going to get classy.
Oh, next week, it's going to be somehow even classier than Hoodwinked.
It's like all we know, man, is fine podcasting and breathing.
So, if you guys enjoy this episode, subscribe, drop a like, and we'll catch you next week on Classical Cinema Chat. See you all later.